tell us all about how he's utilizing YouTube. If you guys have any questions, he's going to have a Q&A period at the end. If you have questions as you go along, you can feel free to throw them in the chat box. That way we can keep track of them. And if it's something urgent, we'll bring it to his attention at the time so he can answer it, maybe some clarification on something that he's going over. But otherwise, we'll do Q&A, I think, at the end. However, he may have different times that he asks questions, or if anybody's got questions, you can feel free to chat box them, or you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. If you are unmuted and it gets loud in your background, please just mute yourself back up once you're done, or I may take it upon myself to mute you if you don't do it yourself and you're loud. Otherwise, you can live unmuted if you're quiet. So there you go. David, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate you guys having me. So full disclaimer, I am on the beginning of my YouTube journey. And when I say that, I'm about 7 months in. So I don't want to claim to be an expert, but they say that somebody that knows that much more than the average person is an expert. And I've put a lot of time and money into learning this. I think I have about $16,000 and probably 1,000 hours of work that has gone into where I've gotten so far. And I'll just tell you kind of where I'm at in my own personal YouTube journey, and then I'll kind of take you through a bunch of different facets of it. So currently, I've been producing videos for about 6 months. And I think I have 56 videos on YouTube right now. I'm probably at about 900 and change subscribers on my channel. So once I get to 1,000, then I'll be up for what they call monetization, where YouTube can show advertisements on my channel, and I can actually get paid from YouTube. So of course, the way I want to get paid from YouTube is people finding me and buying property from me, because I can make a lot more money than YouTube paying me, but the extra little bit does help. So over 6 months of producing content on my YouTube channel, I've only gotten 53 leads. And you might be like, well, that's a lot of work and a lot of money for 53 leads. But these leads are like nothing I've ever seen before. Like when I call it a lead, somebody is emailing me or booking a Zoom call or texting me, and they are telling me everything you could possibly want to know about their situation. It's usually a page-long email, all their backstory, all their family history, why they're moving here. And it's not like a normal lead where when you call them, they're like not wanting to talk to you. When they pick up the phone, they're literally like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. This is so cool. Do you think you have time for me? So it's a whole different kind of lead. And out of those 53 leads, I've probably had about 15 people actually fly into town and spend time with me riding around in my car. These are primarily just buyer leads. I don't really get any seller leads off the channel. I think there's probably ways you can do that. But so far my channel is getting buyer leads. And out of those 53 leads, I have 3 closed sales. I had one more that fell out right before closing, but out of those 3 closed, I'm at about $1.6 million in sales, and I've gotten about $45,000 in GCI. And since we're Realty One, we get to keep all of our money. So I've made $45,000 off of the roughly $16,000 that I've invested into building my channel. I also have 3 pending sales, right about 2.1 million in pending sales, which will be another $63,000 in GCI. So I'm well over $100,000 in closed and pending transactions just in my channel in the past 6 months. So again, I'm not an expert, but the channel has definitely like paid for itself so far and then some. So kind of my backstory, how I got into the whole YouTube thing, it was kind of a fluke. I saw an advertisement on Facebook that there was this guy, and I can tell you his name later if anybody wants to know, but it was just an advertisement that said, I generated $1 million in sales off my YouTube channel in my first year of real estate. And I'm like, yeah, right. This guy's got to be a joke. And you know, like Facebook does, the ad just kept showing up in my stream and kept showing up and kept showing up. And finally I was like, okay, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to book an intro call. And so I booked an intro call, and it turns out the guy was from Texas, where I grew up, and he went to a high school where some of my friends went, and some of my friends knew this guy. So I was like, okay, this guy has to be legit. So I ended up signing up for this guy's YouTube course, and it was expensive. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was a big investment and it was a big leap of faith. I spent like $5,000 on the course, and my wife thought I was absolutely nuts. She's like, what are you doing spending $5,000 on this course? I also read several books, and I'll give you those books at the end, that are like YouTube Secrets and a couple others that you can get on Amazon or whatever. So that's kind of my backstory. It took me about a month to go through all the learning modules and kind of figure out how this whole thing worked, and kind of get into making my first video. So it was at least a month before I started. And I'll share my screen real quick, so you guys can see. Let me go to my channel here. So this is, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is my dashboard. So right here, I'm currently at 910 subscribers. And in the last 28 days, 17,000 views and 1,800 watch hours. So that means in 30 days, people have watched my channel 1,800 hours. And so the first thing I want to point out about, well, what I did before YouTube, I'll just tell you, and I still do some of it. I was definitely a big Facebook marketing guy. So I ran ads on Facebook, and I would do like, get a free list of homes below this price point. And I probably have like 3,000 leads in my sync, Commissions Inc. platform. And I literally would show up to the office, and you can ask anybody in my office if they're on this call. I would sit in the office and I would make 50 to 100 phone calls a day, calling all of my Facebook leads, and just, hey, you downloaded a free list of homes in my area, just following up. And it worked. I would close deals off of that, but the conversion rate, you know, is very low. And so if any of you have done that sort of calling, and I'd also do a lot of RedX calling and things like that, and all that works. It's just, you know, you have to dial through a lot of calls to get the conversion rate, you know, maybe 1 to 3%, if that, on those Facebook leads. So the thing I like about YouTube is what I would call like attraction marketing. And so it's really people that are searching for content, you know, they're searching for something. And I think a lot of people think of YouTube as entertainment, but it really is a research tool. And more than that, YouTube is actually a search engine. And it is the second largest search engine in the world, right behind Google. And YouTube is actually owned by Google. And the nice thing about YouTube is when somebody searches for something in Google, there will actually be YouTube videos that show up down the page on the Google search results. So if somebody is searching for moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, or moving to San Francisco, California, or cost of living in San Francisco, or cost of, you know, anything like that, if they type that into Google or into YouTube, they're going to see those video results on both of those pages. So that's why I call it attraction marketing, as opposed to, I would say, like, other types of marketing can be considered like interruption marketing. So if you're on Facebook and you're seeing that ad that says get a free list of homes, which is what I used to do, you're basically like interrupting what they're doing. They're searching, they're interacting with their friends, and they see this pop up. Or if they're driving down the highway and they see a billboard, it's kind of interrupting what they're doing. Or if they're listening to music on the radio, it's, you know, it's interrupting their song with a radio commercial talking about, you know, your real estate services. They're not, you know, fully intentional on looking for real estate or trying to find something real estate related, to where when they go into YouTube a lot of times, or Google, they're in a search mode. They're looking for something specific, and so there's a higher intent. And YouTube is also considered long form video. So I don't know if you know, like long form video versus short form video. Things like TikTok and Instagram and some of those other ones, those are great and they do work, you know, for what they are, but a lot of that is more like entertainment. And so if you're running ads on that, you know, people are in the mind frame of wanting to be entertained. They're not necessarily in research mode. And a lot of these YouTube videos are not only being watched on computers, they're being watched on televisions and tablets. And actually, if you look at, I don't know where to find it on my analytics, but I had it written down. The watch time when people are viewing this on their TV is more than double. So my watch time on computers and tablets, I'm usually around 5 minutes is my average watch time for folks viewing these videos. But when they're watching it on their television, like they're sitting in bed or they're sitting on their couch researching moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, you know, they're actually watching like 12 minutes worth of my video, which is quite a bit. So the next thing I was going to talk about is, you know, real estate, in my opinion, is definitely like a lead generation business. And whoever can generate the most leads and the best leads, in my opinion, is going to have the best results. And you know, I mean, there's so many different ways of generating leads, and I'm sure there's agents on this call that are doing amazing with all different types of lead generation, whether it's cold calls or door knocking or running ads or print marketing. And I do a little bit of all of that, but I'll tell you, you know, these leads and the people I'm talking to, it is, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years and these are the best leads that I've ever had. And the cool thing is, like, when people, you know, like the people who watch your videos, if they click with you, they're going to call you. So it's almost like the people that call you already have something in common with you. Like they have some, for example, like the guy that taught me, who's like, if you have like purple hair and like piercings and tattoos and you're like a real estate agent and you got a YouTube channel, you make your content, and guess what? The people who call you, they're the people who want a purple hair tattooed real estate agent. You know what I mean? They already love you. They already know you. They already, if you've got a quirky sense of humor or whatever, or you've got a dry sense of humor or whatever your thing is, like the people who just don't like you and are turned off by you, they're never going to call you in the first place. So the people who have watched your content and the people who are like getting the vibe that you're throwing down, those are the people that are going to call you. So you're automatically going to have like this kinship with them. Does that make sense? The other thing that I was going to talk about is like global versus local marketing. For me personally, you know, my past marketing efforts, I was doing a lot of Facebook ads. I was doing Red X dialing. I'm doing a lot of postcards. But for me, that was primarily all local marketing. So I was only able to really target and reach people that were in my area. So with Facebook, the way it works is it, you know, you can do like a geographic radius of like 30 miles or whatever. So I would say get a free list of houses under this price point, and only people that were either in that geographic radius or people that were driving through that radius are ever going to see my ads. Same thing, if I'm calling for listings, I'm calling the neighborhoods and I'm saying, you know, do you want to sell your house? Or if I'm door knocking or if I'm sending postcards. But the vast majority of my marketing efforts were right here in Bluffton and Hilton Head and the surrounding area. Now, the people that are searching, moving to Bluffton or moving to Hilton Head or moving to Beaufort or whatever it is, they're from everywhere. Like I actually had some people that watched my video from Switzerland, and they were expats that were looking to move back here and put their kids back in school to relocate in the Bluffton area so they could finish out and go to college here. And they found me from Switzerland. Like I have never once mailed a postcard to Switzerland. I've never ran any Facebook ads in Switzerland. I've got people coming from California. I had a police officer that was relocating from Seattle, Washington. Like all these places I would have never been able to advertise and never be able to target buyers. But with YouTube, all these folks are starting to find me, which I think is really super cool. So the other thing that I love about YouTube is it is marketing for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, if there's somebody in Switzerland or somebody in Japan or whatever, and they're on a totally different time schedule than me, I mean, even if by some chance they, did find my website, and call me or whatever, the chances of us connecting during a certain time are slim to none. But with the YouTube channel, it's basically prospecting for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter what time zone people are in. They're finding me and they're able to watch my content and interact with me. So I think that's really cool. So the next thing that I was going to talk about is kind of reasons people don't want to make YouTube videos. And one of the reasons is it takes too much time. And I will agree, it takes a lot of time to go out. I typically dedicate an entire day of the week, sometimes a day and a half, to going out and shooting content. And then if you're uploading, sometimes on Tuesday nights is usually when I'm uploading. So I have to sit up at late at night and upload. And then if you're editing your own stuff, I have editors that I pay. But if you're editing, that takes more time. So yes, it is very, very, very time intensive. But another way of looking at it is that it actually multiplies time. So the way that I would illustrate that to you is like if I go down here to my analytics, like right here in the last 30 days, I have 1,800 watch hours. So that means potential customers were like watching my videos for 1,800 hours. So if I take 1,800 hours and I divide that by 30 days, that means 60 hours a day, my videos are being watched by prospective customers. I have never sat and prospected. I couldn't. I mean, even if I had a team of 3 people and we were all on the phone for 3 hours a day, or 24 hours a day, we're still not in front of potential customers for 60 hours. So in that way, I think that YouTube multiplies your time and really leverages your time, because there's no way I would ever be able to have 18 hours of FaceTime with a potential customer from all different places around the world. So the other thing I really love about YouTube is I feel like there's no rejection. So, one of the hardest things about real estate and about sales for me, I've been in it for 10 years and I've been in sales for like 25 years. So I've always been in businesses. I was in advertising sales and things like that before, where I literally always had to make like 100 calls a day. And even in my real estate career, I always was really pounding the phones. And you have to have thick skin to do that for a lot of years. And the thing I love about this is you're not making 100 calls to get one yes. Really, the people that you're talking to, they're just so tickled to be on the phone with you. When you answer that call and they're like, you're like, hey, you just requested information from my YouTube channel and you said that you were coming here and you want to visit in a week or whatever. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. Or if you're on a Zoom call with them, they're like, I feel like I'm watching your YouTube channel right now. This is so weird. And when they get in your car, they're just, they're just so tickled to be with you. And the funny thing is, like, sometimes when they're riding in their car, in my car with me, they remember stuff about the videos that I don't even remember. They're like, when you were talking, you were in Palmetto Bluff and you were talking about that one little restaurant over here and da 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 da, and what your favorite menu item was. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I remember that. But a lot of times they remember things that I don't even remember about my video. But they don't, there's no rejection. Like, these are the most warmest, easiest leads to work, the friendliest. I mean, it's like a whole nother way of doing business. So I really love that. And I think by the time they call you or they reach out to you, like, they're already sold on you. Like, they're doing their own due diligence, to where a lot of other leads, you have to call them to establish that initial contact. And then you have to follow up with them time after time after time to build that relationship with them. The first time, you might be going through your LP Mama script, you might be finding out the location and the price and the motivation, and if they have an agent and all these other things. And then over a period of 3 to 6 months, you're that guy that keeps calling them back, and you're that guy that keeps following up with them. And so over a long period of time, you do build a relationship with other types of leads. But with the YouTube leads, they've already watched potentially 3, 6, 10, 20 hours worth of your video. By the time they call you, they're already sold on you. They're not talking to any other agents. They're not interviewing other agents. They've already kind of done their own relationship building without ever having to talk to you. So I think that's really a cool feature of the YouTube leads. And sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. I think I mentioned, when they do reach out to you, I was going to pull up some of these screenshots, but I didn't have time to like white out people's names and contact information. So I don't really want to do that. But like, when they send you a text or an email, they really give you everything. They give you their whole story. They give you their budget. They give you where they own other real estate. They write like a page-long email. So it's really the best kind of lead in my opinion. So next thing I was going to talk about is treating YouTube like a business. So I think if you treat YouTube like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. If you treat YouTube like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And what I mean by that is, YouTube has certain algorithms, and YouTube decides which videos to push up and which videos to hold back. And one of the things that YouTube likes is it wants to see regular, scheduled, kind of like a television show. If you like watching Friends or Frasier, I don't know what shows, I don't have TV anymore, but your favorite television show comes on at the same time every week. And so YouTube wants to see that same thing. So if you're just posting a video once a month, or you post this week and then you don't post for 2 weeks, and then you post in 3 weeks, and you're posting different times a day, there's a good chance that your video is not going to get any views. So you really have to have like a schedule. When I decided to do this, I came up with a list of 100 videos that I was going to make over the course of a year. And I do deviate from that as I come up with new ideas, but I publish 2 videos every week, and they go out at the same time every week. And that's because that's what the YouTube algorithm wants to see. It wants to see consistent publishing, and that's going to help push you up in the ranking. So when somebody types in moving to wherever, or cost of homes in whatever area, you're going to show up at the top of the list. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the channel name. So if you do decide to start your own YouTube channel, I recommend not naming it your name, because there's nobody, if let me go to my your channel. Can you guys see that there? So this is my channel. And so nobody from California, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Switzerland, or Japan is ever going to type in David Simcox realtor. They don't know who I am. They're going to type in, California homes for sale. They're going to type in Portland homes for sale. They're going to type in Bluffton homes for sale, low country, whatever. So for mine, I called it low country lifestyles. For a lot of people, they'll call it like living in Northern California or living in Charleston or living in whatever, because the channel name should have something to do with what people are searching for. It shouldn't be about you. So that's the first thing. The other thing is you want to focus the consumer on what you want them to do. So one thing you'll notice up in my banner up here is I do not have links to all my social profiles. I've worked very hard to get people on my channel to watch my videos. So the last thing I want to do is put a bunch of links over here that says, hey, go check out my Facebook, go check out my LinkedIn, go check out my TikTok, go check out my Twitter, go check out this. I don't want them leaving my channel. I want them to either continue watching my videos or I want them to contact me. So all my call to action is give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below. That's the main focus of my channel. I don't want to send them off the platform. I don't want to give them any excuse to leave. And so, you can see the banner is pretty clean and simple, and kind of has a visual of people moving from other areas to the South Carolina Low Country. The other thing that I was going to talk about are the types of videos. So I'll go to my videos here, and you can see all my crazy, stupid faces here. I'll talk about those later and why I have these crazy, stupid faces that are kind of embarrassing, but there's a method, there's a reason for that. But there's different types of videos that tend to work well in any market. One is map tours. So map tours is basically where I just share, I do a Zoom and I do a screen capture and I pull up Google Maps. And I basically do like an insider's guide to the area. I pull up Google Maps and I have like a drawing tool and I draw on the screen and I say, okay, here's the map of Bluffton. Here's the main highway going in and out. Here's the main shopping area. Here's the downtown. Here's some of the main neighborhoods. And I draw on my screen. And, so anybody can look at Google Maps on their own, but this is kind of like an insider's guide to the area. And so you can do that type of video for all the different cities that you service. So for me, it's Bluffton, Hilton Head, Beaufort, and Jasper County are my four main areas. So right when I got started, I did like map tours on all of those areas. Another type of video that works well in just about any market is pros and cons. So people want to know, like, what are the pros and what are the cons of living in Bluffton, or what are the pros and cons of living in San Francisco or whatever. And, you can just do that as like, just you and a selfie stick and, just talking on camera. Here's 5 things I love about Bluffton. Here's 5 things you should probably know before you move here. We have alligators, we have bugs, there's tourists that, are here and they clog up the street. So it's not, all good. Another thing that I do a lot of is top neighborhoods. So I'll, go through, I just did one today for a neighborhood called Rose Hill. And so I'll go in and I'll give like a tour, like selfie style with a camera. and I'll show all the amenities, and I'll show the swimming pools, and I'll show the golf course, and I'll show the workout area. Because, people can go to Zillow and they can see the houses, but they don't always get a behind the scenes tour of what it's actually like to live in that area. And I might even say, and right outside the gate, there's this coffee shop and there's this shopping center. And then I'll say, okay, now let's drive around and let's look at some of the homes and some of the architecture, and I'll film out the window and I'll like drive by houses, and I might have a minute or two of me driving through the neighborhood showing houses. And then I'll say, okay, now that we've looked at some architecture, let's jump inside my computer and let's do an analysis of the market. And I'll do like a quick Zoom screen capture, and I will download all the sold properties from that neighborhood, and I'll show like, okay, how many transactions have there been in the last year? What's the list price to sale price ratio? What's the average square foot? What's the average days on market? And I'll put all that together in a video. And those are kind of like what I call my neighborhood tours. So other ways that you can get ideas for content. So those three are great, but that doesn't give you 100 ideas, right? If you need 100 videos in a year, another thing you can do is you can go to Google, and actually, I'll do it here on the screen. Let me pull up. Can you guys see Google here?
Yes.
Y'all give me a thumbs up if you can see this.
Yes.
Okay. So if I type in moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, if you scroll down right here, it's going to say people who ask this also ask, here's other things that the same people that are searching about moving to Bluffton, South Carolina also want to know, how far is Bluffton from the beach? Why are people moving to Bluffton? Is Bluffton expensive place to live? What airport do you fly into? These are all things that are already getting search volume from Google. So there's no reason to make a video unless people are actually searching for that topic, so you can get some search volume. So each one of these four can be a video that I make, right? So if I say like, homes for sale in Hilton Head Island, and I scroll down, here's some additional searches: waterfront homes for sale. And that'll just give me like other things that I can search for. So I did, like I said, I made a list of about 100 videos before I got started, so I'd have somewhere to go, so I didn't have to think of something new every week. The other thing are these thumbnails. So you see these like really goofy faces on here. I was kind of against that when I first started doing this, because I was like, I am in a luxury market where I want to be taken seriously. But the goofy faces, these are called thumbnails, and those are basically like clickbait. So that's what gets people to click on it. And these guys that do the editing have guaranteed me that the goofy faces get more clicks than just me having the exact same face every time. So I basically went in and I took about 50 different photographs of different emotions. So happy, sad, scared, shocked, mad, whatever. And I took all these selfie photos and I put them in a folder, and my editors go through and they pick and choose different goofy faces, and they put them on here as the thumbnails. So that is something else that you want to think about, is having, having these catchy little thumbnails. Let me see how we're doing on time here. Okay, we're at 35 minutes in. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the video flow. So just like YouTube wants consistent publishing on your timing, I think that you also want a consistent format to your videos, so people feel like they're watching a television show. So just like when you watch your favorite show on TV, a lot of times they'll have like their recap from the week before, and then it's got the intro video, and then it's got like the scenery of the city or whatever. Think about your favorite TV shows, how they kind of follow the exact same format every single time. So I try to have my show I think of my YouTube channel like I'm publishing a television show, basically. And so the first thing on every single video is called the hook. And the hook basically in 30 seconds tells people what the video is going to be about. So, for example, in today's video, I went out and filmed and I said, so you're thinking of moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, but you're concerned about hurricanes. Well, that's perfect because that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to talk about everything you need to know to get prepared if there's a hurricane. So that's your hook. And then a lot of times you'll give them a little teaser and you'll say, okay, and if you stay till the end of this video, we're going to show you something, you know, that secret item that you have to have for every hurricane. So don't go anywhere. Let's get started. So then it goes into like a little intro. Let me see if I can show this real quick.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yeah, we print that.
I'll skip. Can you guys see the video playing here? Parker, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard. So
Results are in. Tom? You are 99.9%. Dropping off the brand new Shelby Mustang. Oh, there you go.
sorry for the ads there, guys. Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to make you guys keep watching these. But so then it goes into a little intro clip, which might have like video footage of your city and like you out walking around and like you filming your selfie stuff. And then it goes into the intro. And the intro is going to be similar every video, but you'll change it up depending on what you're filming that day. So my intro, it would be something like, do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Low Country, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications. So you'll be the first to know about everything in the South Carolina Low Country. My name is David Simcox, host of Low Country Lifestyles and a local realtor. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you who are thinking of making their move here to the South Carolina Low Country, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're making your move in 3 days or 3 months, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below so I can help you find your low country lifestyle. So that's the first part of the intro. That never changes. Then I go into kind of, in the intro, I keep talking, but I'm talking about what I'm going to talk about in that video. So in today's video, we're going to do a behind the scenes tour at a neighborhood called Rose Hill Plantation. And this is one of my favorite plantations. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods because I think it has something for everyone. I think it has a lot of bang for the buck. And it's got very reasonable POA fees. And in today's video, we're going to show you all of the amenities. We're going to show you all the lifestyle. We're going to drive around. We're going to look at houses. We're going to look at architecture. And then at the end of the video, we're going to jump into my computer and I'm going to do a screen share so that you can see all the financial data, the sold homes, the price per square foot, the days on market. So let's get started. Don't go anywhere. And then it'll go right into the first segment, which might be me out on camera, filming the amenities, the swimming pool, whatever it is. And then at the end of each video, I always do what's called an outro. So you're basically wrapping up the video and you're giving them a call to action. You're telling them what you want them to do. So it would sound something like this. I would say, you know, thank you so much for staying till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes tour of Rose Hill Plantation. And again, if I can help you find your low country lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text or book a Zoom call, all in the description below. And if you want to be the first to know about everything in the low country, be sure and like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications. As always, my name is David Simcox, host of Low Country Lifestyles, and it's been a pleasure spending time with you today, and I hope to see you on the next video. Boom. And then it basically goes out to some outro footage and links to the next video. So I always try to follow that same video flow, whether it's a map tour, a pros and cons, a top neighborhoods, or, you know, even I have some that are like my top favorite restaurants in an area. Whatever the video is, I'm still following the same format of the hook, the intro, the actual content of the video, and then the outro. All right, so I'm getting close to the end here because I know we are at 40 minutes and I want to make sure we have time for questions and answers. So why don't people do YouTube? Number one, they are embarrassed to get on camera. They don't like the way they sound. I agree. When I first recorded myself, I felt extremely stupid and embarrassed, but you just have to get over it. And, if you look at it from a standpoint of, hey, I'm going to make potentially $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 for every video that I make. I mean, right now, I'm at least at $1,000. Well, yeah, about $1,000 a video for every video I've made just from the commission I've made. So, I can get over my embarrassment for that amount of money. And you have to like get kind of thick skin. There's going to be times where you're like out filming selfie style, walking through a crowd of people and people are like pointing at you and kind of like giggling and laughing and you're just going with it, So I would say that's the main reason. People think it's hard. It's a lot of video. It's a lot of work. You're out there driving and filming. Today, I did like 27 clips that my editors are going to have to put together to make the video. And that's a lot of work. And the other thing is it takes some time for this stuff to kick in. So I would say it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 months of filming and putting content out before you start getting phone calls and start getting responses. And that's a big leap of faith to get out there and work your butt off for 3 to 5 months without getting a single response before the YouTube algorithm starts to kick in. And there is potentially, depending on how you do it, if you go about it yourself, then there's no cost. Like if you want to film your own videos on your phone and upload and do your own editing and learn all that on your own, then, it's zero cost. But for me, I paid for a course and I pay like $1,300 a month for editors to edit all my videos. So there is a big investment of time and money. So those are all reasons not to do it. But it's hard, and everything in real estate is hard, right? Door knocking is hard. Like making 100 calls a day is hard. Like everything we do is a grind and an uphill battle. And, like anything, we just have to choose which hard we want to do. And for me, I've chosen that for this year and the next year or two, like my hard is going to be YouTube, right? That's what I'm going to have as my challenge. And you can do anything that you set your mind to, right? If you want to do TikTok, if you want to do Facebook, if you want to be the door knocker, you want to be the cold caller, you want to be the postcard guy. If you put all your effort into that and you learn everything there is to know about that, you're going to be great at it and you're going to be successful and you're going to make a lot of money. So YouTube is just one more thing that you can dig into. But I do think that it's something that you have to give 100% to. I don't think you can go like just a little bit in and experiment with it, because I don't think you'll get results from that. I think the only way to really get results is to go all in and like invest a lot of time into it. So resources. So number one, there's books you can read. There's one called YouTube Secrets, and you can get that on Audible or you can get that on Amazon. There's another one called the YouTube Formula. There's another book. This is the guy that I took his course, and he wrote a book called Passive Prospecting. There's another lady, I think out of Savannah, named Karen Carr. She has a book, and I think she has her own YouTube course that she teaches. And then in the grand scheme of things, like I said, I'm only about 6 months into this. You guys can tell I've only generated about $45,000 in commission. So I'm still in the beginning stages. So if you want to know how this story ends, check back with me in a year and hopefully there'll be even more success to share with you guys. I will just say, if you guys have gotten anything out of this, I'm not pointing you guys in any direction. I'm not encouraging you necessarily to take anyone's course or to spend any money. That's not the point of this. My only point is, if you have anybody moving to the Bluffton, Hilton Head or Beaufort area, just keep me in mind as a referral. I would love to help take care of your customers if they're coming to my part of the country, and I'll do the same to try to send people to your part of the country. We're all part of the same real estate company family with Realty One, and I, try to give back to you guys, and I've had so many people give so much to me. So hopefully you guys have gotten something out of this today, and if I can answer any questions, I'll do my best.
Hey, David, in the chat, there's a couple people asking about equipment that you use.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, the big stuff.
Sure. It does not cost much. So number one, selfie stick. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I literally do all my videos with this, just holding it out like this, filming with my iPhone. And then super important is sound quality. You definitely want something. So this is bare minimum, this little thing that plugs onto my, can you guys see that?
Yes, we can see that.
This plugs onto the end of my iPhone. This is my second choice. It's not the best sound quality, but it literally plugs in here. Ooh, there you go. So that'll pick up, and they sell like a little furry thing that you can put on the end of that, and it blocks out the wind. And then my go-to, what I primarily use is this is called a Movo wireless transmitter. Can you guys see that? This is like a clip, and it's got like the mic that hooks on my shirt, and it's got a transmitter that plugs in my phone. And then I've got two of these, so if I ever have two people on video, it'll pick up both of them. And it's just a Bluetooth. And I'm trying to see if I can figure out what model this is, because this is the best. It has really, really good. Yeah.
And that's
Can you guys-
Movo, like MOVO.
Yeah, can you guys see this is the brochure so I've done all 54, 55, 56 videos with this right here, and it makes really, really, really good sound.
I
This
can't
is my
see
primary.
the brochure is really small. Does it have a model number on it? I'll put it in the chat box.
It says Edge mic. Let me see if it has the model number on here. It says Edge TX. So that might be, I think if you just type in Movo Edge TX wireless mic, it'll probably come up I think I just got it on Amazon. And I think it was 100. And the little one is called SHURE, Shure mic. And this is an MV88 is the model. And then I definitely, if y'all can see, I got my light here. So when I'm filming my videos in my office, I try to have a light on my face.
Perfect. And then there were some other questions. Hold on, let me just scroll to the top for you. I think you shared one of your videos, and you said you're the one doing the shooting, and then you hire a company to edit the videos. You already answered that one. You don't do the editing, so you don't have any like editing programs or anything that you utilize, correct?
I don't. I made the decision. I mean, they do teach you a little bit about editing in that course that I took, but I decided I didn't want anything to do with it because I'm a full-time real estate agent. I was already, like last year I did like 260,000 in GCI. So I wasn't like starting from scratch. I'm a full-time, full production agent. So I did not want to be a video editor. That was not my job description.
Andrea said she joined late. Do you pay for YouTube ads? And where would you suggest to start?
Yeah, that's a good question. So one of the key things is you do not want to pay for ads. It'll screw up the algorithm. It'll screw up your channel. So when you start producing content, you want people to find you organically, and that will help teach YouTube where to show your videos and what parts of the country and everything else. If you start paying for ads, it's going to actually, you could get some extra subscribers and likes and stuff like that, but it'll completely screw up your analytics. So you don't want to do any paid ads. If you want to do any sort of paid advertising on YouTube, you want to have a separate channel for that. And I'm not an expert in that, so I can't really speak to it. Where to get started? Well, I would say you could start by reading those books. Again, I don't want to necessarily like make this all about like promotion or anything, but like the guy that I learned from is a guy out of Texas, and there's other companies that teach this stuff, but this guy here, Passive Prospecting, this is the guy. I saw his advertisements on Facebook and clicked on it, and I took a chance and signed up for his course. There's, like I said, there's that other lady out of Savannah. She teaches a course. Karen, anybody know her name? Karen? What is
Karen
it?
Carr. I think it's Karen Carr.
Yeah, she does it. I think hers is less expensive. I think there's a woman in my office that took her course, and it was like $1,000 or $1,500, and the one that I took was like $5,000. So I know there's some other folks in here. I think Mark Clem has done the same course as me, I think, right, Mark?
Yeah, I actually took one through Real Estate All Day down in Florida, and then just follow the Passive Prospecting curriculum.
Okay. Did you go through their course, or you're?
No, just through the YouTube stuff.
Okay, gotcha. So you're in the group.
I mean, the Facebook group stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Mark's a good resource too. If you guys have any questions, and he's out of the Charleston market, and I'm referring business to him in Charleston, and he's sending some business to me. So the cool thing too is, as you get into this YouTube stuff, you start like networking with other like content creators in different markets. Cause like if I go to my YouTube channel here and I go to like my subscriptions, like most of these subscriptions over here on the left, a lot of these are like other YouTube real estate content creators, and I watch all their stuff to get ideas. If I'm like having a brain freeze and can't think of something, like honestly, I will go over here and watch some of Mark's videos and be like, okay, well, Mark had a cool idea. I might try to do something similar to that in my market. And so, it's a good networking tool, and you can get referrals out of it too, just from like networking with other content creators.
Buzz Carr said, I have a YouTube channel, but my page doesn't look like yours. In the upper left of my page, it has the logo that says YouTube, where yours says studio. How do you get to the studio?
I'm not sure. If I go click on home here I'm at my home page, and over here is my little picture. So I click on that, and I know if I click on your channel, it takes me to this page. So I'm not sure what page he's seeing, but maybe this is like, I'm not sure. He
was looking at studio, David. So just show him how to get to the studio.
I don't even know, Mark.
It was in that drop.
Click that, and then studio right below it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So here I am. So I don't claim to be an expert in like how to upload or anything on YouTube. Like all this stuff, all the analytics, I literally just shoot the videos, and then I go and I upload it to, I've got these folders over here. So like, here's the one that I did today. This is all like, these are all my videos I put on my storage drive. And then I just put them in order here, the hook, the intro, so here's the hook I shot today.
So you're thinking about moving to the South Carolina Low Country, but you're worried about hurricane.
And then I go right into the intro.
Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Low Country, whether it's Bluffton?
All through the different things, monitor the news, emergency kit, blah, 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 blah. And then I go to my outro. like I told you guys,
Thank you for staying till the end of this video. And I hope you learned a little something about hurricane preparedness here in the South Carolina Low Country. Again, I'm not the official word on this matter. So if you want the official word, make sure you go to the government websites and get the exact evacuation.
so I just film all that content and then I upload that to a Google Drive, and my editors grab all this and they put it all together and make it look the way it looks when it's on YouTube, and they add in all the keywords and all that sort of stuff.
There's another question. I know you answered this at the very beginning, but how do you get started as far as being compensated by YouTube? How many?
Well, I haven't been compensated yet, so I'm not quite sure. But I know that you have to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then you are considered a monetized channel, or you can apply to be a monetized channel. And then they basically run advertisements on your page. And then they'll send you a check every month. And I don't know how much that'll be. I guess check back with me in a year and I'll find out if I've made some money off of that. But really, I mean, the cool thing with real estate, we're getting compensated through sales. So we're going to make so much more. You get one commission check of $15,000. I could care less about the, $500 that YouTube sends me.
Perfect. How much do you pay to have one video edited, and is it worth it to pay to have that done? I know you mentioned you pay about $1,300 a month.
Yeah, so basically my editing package is 8 videos per month. So I do 2 per week. And so for 8 videos, I'm paying about $1,300 per month. And that's them also uploading everything. So 1,300 divided by 8 is about $162 per video. And there are different companies that offer this. You can go to Fiverr, and you get people to do it. You might even could get like a college kid that, wants like an internship. Maybe they could do it for you. Again, that's a little bit outside of what I normally do. So.
And who do you have do your editing? Is it a company?
Yeah, the same guys, the passive prospecting guys.
Okay.
They're out of Texas.
Perfect. And give me the names of the books you recommended again.
Yeah. So one is called YouTube Secrets.
Okay.
And the next one is called the YouTube Formula. And then the third one is just called Passive Prospecting, and that's that book by the guy that I kind of work with.
Anybody else have any other questions? We've kind of gone through the ones in the chat box, so we're all caught up now. You can unmute yourself and ask away.
Hey, David, this is Sonia out of Realty One in Woodstock, Georgia. Do you do anything with the SEO score? I have a YouTube channel and I know sometimes it gives you an SEO score. Do you have any suggestions on how, to improve your score?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't do it, they do it for me, but there's a thing called TubeBuddy. So I don't know if this right here, this little icon here is TubeBuddy. And you can download that and it'll plug into your YouTube channel and it'll tell you, I don't know if I can do it here. I haven't messed with this in a while. But like there are different things that it'll give you a score for. Yeah, I don't really know how it works, but like I know one of the things is having your videos broken up into chapters. So that's one thing that improves the SEO score. Having a comment tagged at the top of your comments is another thing. There's a few others. I think there's like 5 things that they give SEO score for. I was trying to find SEO Studio maybe.
And that's probably under the paid version of TubeBuddy, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't figure, I haven't messed with it in a while. I pay for it, but haven't really dug into it in a while. But I know that like when I go to one of my videos, maybe it'll show me if I click on a video, because I think it does say the
Of course, communities in.
so does this one have my SEO score?
I think it may be like on the right-hand side over
Yeah.
there somewhere. If you go up, yeah.
Oh yeah,
up
right
there.
here. So this is what you're talking about. So having a high resolution thumbnail, these are all like the things that YouTube wants you to do. Having info cards, having an end screen added, having a comment pinned, which I haven't pinned a comment yet, so I need to do that. Having it liked on Facebook, I don't have that. Having captions added, having a comment hearted, and having chapters added. So those are the main things for the SEO that they want you to do.
Okay. Thank you, David, and thank you for offering this. This is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Hi, David. I'm Ronna out of Oklahoma City here, Realtor in
Ronna.
Capstone. Hey, what was your first video that you did? Did you decide to do a sequence or a theme as you went along, or was it just all impromptu?
Yeah, so I basically, it was like 6 months ago, and I started out with like those three main categories. So going
Mhm.
back to the beginning, let me go back to my notes here. So I would start with like whatever if you're in like Oklahoma City, if you have like 3 or 4 main suburbs in that area, I would probably start out with like a map tour of each one of those, right? So if you've got like 4 main suburbs, you could do that map tour where you're like doing a screen share. That would give you like 4 videos, and then you could do a pros and cons of each of those like main 4 suburbs or cities. And then
Okay.
you could do like top neighborhoods in each one of those like 4 cities. And that right there will probably give you, your first 12 to 16 videos. And then you just
Okay.
kind of branch out from there.
Gotcha. And are you just doing YouTube videos, or are you doing TikTok and
Just
Facebook as well?
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, just YouTube. Now I will say that so like if you look at these are my videos, right? These are all my folders of all my videos. And within each folder, I've got like this Hampton Lake is a neighborhood. I've got 33 little video segments that I made that go into that. Now I can take each one of these little video segments and I can repurpose that as short form video for Facebook. So I can go in and spend, like 2 or 3 hours sitting and program out a month's worth of Facebook posts and say, like here, Lakeside Resort Pool.
This is a resort style pool, and they've got a splash pad over here for little kids.
Right. So this is like a 30-second to 1-minute video. I could repurpose this on Facebook or TikTok or whatever as short form content.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Perfect. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Oh, did somebody have a question?
Yeah, David, it seems like you do horizontal shooting. Is that the best? Is that the best for YouTube?
That's what they have told me, yes. And the other thing is you want your camera setting to be at the so you like, let me get to my thing here so y'all can see this. So you always want to film from this side. It takes better pictures. So you want to be holding it like this when you're filming, and you want it set at the 0.5 setting. Can y'all see that? So it basically gets a wide angle. So when I'm filming here, it gets me in the picture, but it gets the widest angle of everything behind me. So as I'm walking through and I'm filming different things, you know, I want myself in, because I'm trying to build, you know, I'm trying to build my brand with these folks. So I always want myself in the video, every little segment, but I set it on 0.5 and I just turn it this way with my selfie stick.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. Well, thank you so much, David, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Super good content. You know, it's always good to kind of explore and dive into new areas of lead gen to see if it's something that you want to add to your business. So I really appreciate you coming on today. And thank you so much.
Yeah. And if anybody, you know, decides they want to give this a go, and if they get to a sticking point, I mean, feel free to reach out or call me. I'm an open book. So anything I can share with you, you know, I can help you along the journey. And if you get started and you're like, you know, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, I can maybe help you get to the next step. So feel free to call me or text me or whatever. Or we're a vacation destination, so you can come down and make a vacation and come check out the Bluffton and Hilton Head area.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great
All
day,
right.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank-
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.